Okay, welcome. Glad you're here. And we are in for a real treat. We have the Baptist College of Ministry chorale that's come in. And as you saw, you were coming in the same time they were coming in. So they are in their travel dress, and then they will change into service dress tonight. But they've been kind to agree to doing this afternoon. And I wanted our young people, as well as our parents and all of our guests, to be able to get, once again, maybe a clearer vision of what it is that we are deliberate in our process about. We can look at this, and those who have been up there to Menominee Falls, you see the product. And it's not because they have a few spectacular people, it's because they have worked the process. And so many of you are in that beginning process. And you're going to see some that are towards the end of the process or a little bit further down, but get encouraged. And then not only be encouraged, but parents, you get to see that all the investment is not in vain either, and everyone else. And glad to see Ms. Vevlin here and Brother Curtis. If you want to come closer, you can come closer. Still stay on your side there. The same price for the tickets here in these seats but we're so glad you came. And I'm going to turn it over to Brother Van Gelder. Let me pray and turn it over to him. Lord, thank you for letting us be here this afternoon and see this and witness what you're doing in hearts and lives. And I do pray that you would bless, and we understand this is not a performance, and though we're appreciating and valuing hard work and technique, Lord, we are wanting to glorify you and those that will be ministering through music, but also as we are listening and soaking up not just the sound and how great it is, but also the work that goes into it. And I pray that you would leave a lasting impact upon our lives, our hearts, and our homes in this church ministry. Thank you for the work you're doing through the Van Gelderens and his leadership here with this group even this week, and pray your blessing upon this time. Give strength where it's needed, and give guidance and clarity, and give help and refreshment. And we thank you for that. We love you. Amen. Welcome, Daniel Van Gelderen.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be back at Canaan Baptist. We are excited always to come by and see more every time. We learn more people and become friends with new people, and it's great to be here. I'll say this tonight as well, but this is part of the chorale, but it's great to have Maddie. She is also part of the whole chorale, and but it's good to be here in Georgia as well. We're enjoying the weather. It's nice. It's a little chillier back at home, so that's a bonus being here. This afternoon, you're going to hear some of our college students who are getting ready to play degree recitals in the next couple of either month or couple of weeks. They have to pass these recitals in order to graduate, so it's a big deal. And so they've been working hard. And when the opportunity came, we thought this would be great. But listen, I want to tell you something. I know where these kids came from. Many of these children, these kids, I can say kids because I'm 15 years older than the youngest on this trip. So I've earned the right to call them kids now. Some of these kids, I taught one of them, Judson. You guys know Judson, when he was 3. Okay, 3. I held him as a baby, 3 years old. Some of these, I remember from day one of them playing both of their instruments. You might see them play. Samantha, who's going to start here, I remember her. She's the same age as Judson. Remember them all in those classes from day one. Guess what? They weren't playing the same song at 3 years old. Okay, young people, it takes work, but this is the end product. We'll talk about that at the end, but it does take work. My daughter is 3, turning 4 in next week, but she is still playing ants. Okay, she's still sawing away on those dumb little songs. Why can't I play the big ones, right? But guess what? You start there, and before you know it, blink. I remember teaching Judson when he was 3 years old. It's crazy. He's now a junior in college. So Anyways, so you'll enjoy that. I just want to let you know that, as Pastor Ingram said, they didn't just blink and show up this good in the piano or the instruments. It took work, but it is fun. Not always is it fun to do the work, but it's always fun to see what happens at the end. But if you don't go through that process, there's no product at the end to see, okay? So, all right, we're going to start today with Samantha. We'll clap her on in a second, but Samantha and the rest of all the students will introduce themselves and what song they're playing. We don't have a program printed out for you, but they'll say that for you so you understand what they're playing. And we'll go through. We'll have a piano player. We'll have some string players. Have a horn player. So it should be a good variety. And then, as you can see, we'll pull out a fun song for you at the end with the chamber strings, the members that are on our team. So, all right. So let's give Samantha a hand as she comes on.
Samantha Steckman performing Rachmaninoff's Prelude No. 3 in E major.
Emily Gray Streamers performing To a Water Lily by Edward McDowell.
name is Benjamin Reimers. I'll be performing Fantasy by Hummel, just the first movement.
My name is Hannah Krawick, performing Reverie by Felix Mendelssohn.
Juliana White performing Bach Suite Number 3, Courant and Sarabande.
My name is Esther Sellers, and I'll be performing Andromeda Serenade by Beethoven.
Emily Grade Streamers performing 6 variations on a French song by Mozart.
Hannah Krawick performing Concerto No. 1, the second movement by Carl Stamets.
Judson Schultz performing Prelude to Suite 5 by Bach.
Samantha Seckman and Leanna Yeager performing Nagoon by Bloch.
Benjamin Reimers, here performing Rachmaninoff's Elegy in E-flat minor.
right, well, good job to all the recitalists that came through. And now this time they're going to get their instruments and they're going to come up and play a fun song. If you came up to the conference and came to College Day concert, they're going to play the song that was directed by somebody else. Remember that one? So this time not directed by anybody. They're actually just going to play Turkey in the Straw, I believe. Is that what we're doing? No, we switched it. What are we doing? Oh, St. Paul Street, different song. Okay, we talked about Turkey in the Straw. Not as crazy. This will be more educational, and that is fun. Just want to say that most of these students, we've been on the road since Saturday morning at 5:45 in the morning, and they Friday night from 4 o'clock on had rehearsals. So they had 1 hour of practice yesterday. But since we left, they really haven't seen their instruments for practice much. They've done some mental practice. So this is really good for them. It shows that you have to have a lot of focus. So you guys all ready there? St. Paul's Suite, which movement? The fourth movement called the Dargasans. This is by Gustav Holst. So enjoy. Brother Cherry, you want me to move this over there? Or is that good here? Okay, all right. Stay there, guys. Just stay there. Before we're done, I just want to say something real quickly. I'm going to use a sports analogy, so some of you might get lost on this, but I think hopefully you'll understand what we're talking about. How do you know the name Philadelphia 76ers? Basketball team? All right. Anybody know the name Joel Embiid? He's a big old guy from Africa, plays center on their team, tall, 7 foot something. One of the superstars of the sport, one of the most incredible basketball players right now playing in basketball. Now, does anybody know his nickname? Anybody know what the nickname is? Anybody know? The Process. That's his nickname. Why is it called The Process? Okay, the 76ers used to be a powerhouse team back when Allen Iverson used to play basketball. They were a great basketball team, and then they had some great runs to close to national championships. I'm not sure if they won or not. I wasn't following them. But a few years back, the new ownership and new management of the 76ers blew up the team. They traded off everybody that was good. They dropped their ability, they got a lot of room to get drafts and all these new players. And they just blew up everybody. They just sent them all. And their team stunk one year, and the next year it was worse. And it just seemed like it was never going to get better. And what the management said, they said, hey, trust the process. They said, trust the process. We're doing something slowly but surely, and we're going to get good, and we're going to compete for championships every single year. Guess what? They have. They're good. They're one of the leading teams in basketball right now, and obviously that doesn't matter. But the point is this. It took years and years. We don't even know. Like all of us on the outside, the media, they all make these speculations of what the 76ers management did to make that process work. We don't know. But I will tell you this. It was a very deliberate process from the top down that made the end product incredible on the basketball court. And they're good. They're really good. So, parents, students, life is a process, okay? Sometimes you're like, oh, I just want to play like that, okay? Or I want to play I've seen some people on YouTube like Yo-Yo Ma plays the cello, or, you name the artist. I want to play like them. Well, it's not an overnight thing, okay? It takes time. Ants is one of the first steps in the process, young kids. Who's playing ants right now? Anybody playing ants? Anybody ever played ants? You know what I'm talking about? Heard ants played? Okay, everybody's like, yes, okay. All right. Songs like that. You say, oh, but Mr. Daniel, it takes forever to do those songs, and they're boring, and they're the same thing. Guess what? That's the first step to becoming like this. And then the next step, and the next step. And you know what? Sometimes it's hard. This beautiful building here wasn't built by just going to Home Depot or Menards, whatever you got around, Home Depot, going to Home Depot, buying a bunch of lumber and throwing it at this spot here on the parking lot. Is that how it was built, young people? They just took a truck, everybody got on the truck and dumped the wood off and said, let's go. And boom, here it was. This is not Mary Poppins, right? We don't just boop, and there it is. It takes work. This took work and labor and money and sweat and toil and tears to get this building. And then a beautiful addition that I'm surprised by when I drove in. It's gorgeous. Your little lobby there. Takes time. Listen, young person, you can become like this, but it takes time. Guess what? This isn't the end goal, is it? The number one goal we know with our music and what we do is to honor and glorify God. Number one. And if we are focused on the product, I want to solo, I want to be somebody good, then we've lost focus on glorifying God. Our whole life, okay, I've got 2 little kiddos, okay, and parents in here, this is like. Life is a process. They don't just show up in college. Boop, here I am, ready to serve God. My son, some days he's the cutest kid in the world, and some days I just want to say, anybody, auction off here, okay? He's the cutest kid in the world. I'm just kidding, okay, just kidding. But the point is, it's hard sometimes. It's a process. So young people, don't try to shortcut the process. But back to that illustration of the 76ers in basketball, they could have shortcut the process. They could have gone out and tried to buy a bunch of big-time name stars and try to win for 1 year. And the next year, they would have been bad for a long time. There's been a lot of bad teams in basketball. The reason the 76ers stick out is the reason the other teams are bad is they did that. They would basically sell their whole team just to get a couple of good stars to have 1 year for the championship. They typically didn't make it, and the next couple of years they were horrible with no plan, no process, and in shambles, firing their coach and everything else. 76ers, the opposite way, they actually built and got better, and now they're one of the best in basketball. That's what it takes, okay? So don't get discouraged, young person. I've been there. Don't fight your parents and your teachers and say, well, I don't want to practice, okay? I felt the same way. But you know, when you get older, after practicing for that many years, you want to practice. It's a fun thing to practice. You say, that's never going to happen. I promise it will. I promise it will. But it takes hard work, just like anything else does. Just like if you do your math in school, and you got to do your English in school, and you got to work on penmanship, and you got to work on history, you got to do all these things, you got to read your books. That same kind of work, you got to put that same kind of work even more into your instrument. And by the way, you're helping yourself out. You're helping out your whole body, your mind. Your mind's being just opened up to so many things. So I encourage you, be inspired, but don't think, oh, I want to be just like that today. Be inspired that by the time you get to this age, you're that good, okay? Or even better, okay? Jumping off the shoulders of those that come before you. So hope it was a help to you. I know it was a help to these students that had to play. I told them last night, by the way. I on purpose did that. I didn't want them to get freaked out over the weekend over our services. So I told them last night on the bus trip, and it was a thank you, Mr. Van moment, but it was very good. So we appreciate that. Why don't we give one more hand of all of that played? Okay, and tonight, yes. So tonight we are going to do a sacred concert for you tonight, and we are going to pull the stops out since you gave us the time. We're gonna pull all of our songs, as many as we can. We'll put them out there. We have full choir songs. We have 22 voice part of our chorale. We'll have the ladies will sing part of the chorale. The men will sing a song as well. We have a 9-person brass ensemble. We'll be playing a song called "It Is Well with My Soul." We'll be excited about that one. And then our string ensemble will play at least one, maybe 2 songs tonight. And the 16 string players. That's including. We have several, myself, and then 3 other staff members that are not playing right now that normally play with our string ensemble. So that'll be tonight, and so I think you'll enjoy, be blessed by the whole sacred concert tonight. So.
Well, thank you very much. Young people, looking forward to tonight, and those of you who are watching by way of live stream, those still hear it, this is an off night, Tuesday night, rather than a typical Wednesday night service. So it gives an opportunity to maybe invite some others that could not come if it were on a Wednesday night, and it will be a great blessing tonight. You won't want to miss it. And so pray for them that they'll be able to get a little bit of rest. They're not going to get to the hotel until afterwards tonight, and so they're going to be working towards tonight. So pray that God will give them the strength and energy. And then pray for the service. We want God to meet with us. And I know this, God wants to meet with us, and we're expecting him to do so. But thank you for being here. Thank you for playing. And we'll see you back at 7 o'clock tonight. Lord bless.